Sanjay sir.
Can we wait for another 2-3 minutes only? Because many children are joining now.
Good evening and Jai Hind. We are waiting for 3 more minutes, as many students are still in the waiting room. We are waiting for 3 more minutes. At sharp 6:05, we will start the webinar. Thank you. Okay, Sanjay sir, please stop the music now. Thank you. Thank you. Smriti ma'am, it's good to start now. Smriti ma'am. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Divya, you are audible to us.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good evening and Jai Hind to all the students present over here for this virtual webinar on creative careers. Students, being creative help you to become a better problem solver in all the areas of your life and your work. Like for example, if you send an animated card or a video for wishing a birthday, is basically a gift for the recipient who is receiving it up. So on this, with this line, I give the mic to Smriti Khanna ma'am. She is Vice Principal, Head and Dean, to welcome our guest. Smriti ma'am, up to you.
Thank you, Divya ma'am. On behalf of Sunbeam School, Mughalsarai, we feel deeply honored to have with us Mr. Vivek Vaswani and Mr. Neeraj Paul from Pearl Academy, who are going to guide us today on the different careers that are available to the students in the field of media and mass communication. On behalf of the school management, staff, and the students, I accord a very warm welcome to Mr. Vivek Vaswani and Mr. Neeraj Paul. Dear students, I would like to give you a brief profile of Mr. Vivek Vaswani. And before that, let me tell you that the people of were we enjoyed his acting in the serials and he has directorial skills also. Mr. Vivek Vaswani is the Dean in Pearl School of Contemporary Media. Sir started off with acting in India's first TV soap opera, Khandan. Vivek sir produced a major television serial called Nai Dishaएं, in which he also starred along with Naveen Nishchal, Anju Mahendru ji, Mr. Girish Karnad, Parikshit Sahni sir, Sharon Prabhakar, and Mr. Jayant Kriplani. Vivek sir produced Gavahi, starring Zeenat Aman, Tanuja, Vikram Gokhale, and both India's Oscar-nominated directors, Mr. Shekhar Kapoor and Mr. Ashutosh Gowarikar. So you can see that Sir has been associated with very, very famous names of Bollywood. Vivek Sir has produced 3 films at Sippy Films alongside G.P. Sippy Sir, Patthar Ke Phool, Raju Ban Gaya Gentleman, and Atish. He has launched Miss Ravina Tandon and Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. Sir has acted in more than 100 films. He has also acted in English Babu Desi Mein, Dulha Mil Gaya, Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, and King Uncle. So let us all join together and give a big round of applause to Mr. Vivek Vaswani. We are also privileged to have with us Mr. Neeraj Paul. Mr. Neeraj Paul is the Associate Dean in the School of Creative Business, Pearl Academy. Sir has 20 plus years of experience in lifestyle, luxury retail, and academics. He is an integral part of Indian Skills and World Skill Olympics. Sir holds a position of Chief Expert for Visual Merchandising Skill from India under the Organization of National Skill Development Council of India since the year 2018. Sir has represented India in the World Skill Competition last time in 2019 at Russia and bagged the Medallion of Excellence for the first time in this skill in India. Sir has worked extensively in international locations like Southeast Asia, Africa, and United Arab Emirates. We accord a warm welcome to you, sir, and we hope to have a very enriching experience with you and Vivek, sir. I would like to hand over the mic to Mr. Vivek now.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It's a great honor to be here with my friend and my colleague from Pearl Academy, Mr. Neeraj Paul. Neeraj sir and me have done many webinars together, and we hope that all the students enjoy themselves today because we're not just going to inform them and educate them about new avenues and new careers, but we're going to make it very simple and we're going to reconstruct it so that they can really understand and assimilate very, very easily. I am not an academician. I'm from industry. I make movies. I have made 40 movies with 40 different new directors. I have acted in films. I have written them. I have distributed films. I have worked as a consultant to various companies. Yes, I've launched Shah Rukh Khan and Raveena Tandon and Ashutosh Gawalekar and Rahul Bose and Anant Mahadevan and Mukul Dev and Aman Khan and Iqbal Khan and Boman Irani and a lot of others. Obviously, somewhere mentoring did work. And I'm going to share some of my experiences and I'm going to talk about creative careers in media to all of you. But for now, welcome Neeraj sir and over to you.
Thank you so much, Vik sir. It's always a pleasure to share the screen. I would say screen because we all are sharing it virtually. Otherwise, I would love to share the stage with you, which I have also done before. But I'm so surely looking forward to share a screen one day, the bigger screen. So that's an exciting point over here, and my excitement double folds whenever I do a webinar with Vivek sir. So first of all, thank you, Smriti ma'am, for that introduction, and thank you, Sunbeam, for having me and Vivek sir talk to these lovely students out there who are so much interested to uh, talk or to learn or to understand about various creative careers. And as I said, the various creative careers, I saw the number going to 101, and now it was 102, and then again 101. So we have crossed the number 100. So that's a good sign on a weekend. So before we start this seminar or webinar, I would rather say we are going to keep it very simple, very interactive, and we are going to try to take the questions after the end of our half an hour session between me and Vivek sir. So before we start, Vivek sir, could you please tell us something about School of Media? And we media is a very is a word which has been understood in a many different ways. Many times it is misunderstood also. But then I really want you to make everybody understand and enlighten that what is the difference between a general school of media and our school of contemporary media. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neeraj sir. Let me tell you that the word media is definitely misinterpreted and definitely a lot of people don't understand it. Media is the plural of the word medium. Many mediums is media. A medium is a channel of communication. So, radio is a channel of communication, so radio is media. Television is a channel of communication, so television is media. Films are a channel of communication, so film is media. OTT platforms, digital platforms, the web, the internet are all channels of communication. They're all part of media. Newspapers and journalistic organs are also part of media because they're all channels of communication. So you will see that I have, in the School of Contemporary Media, created these buckets. So radio, television, internet, cinema, publication, journalism, advertising, all these are different buckets. We commonly use one word media, but they are a whole bunch of separate buckets. Each one has their own bunches of careers, which are very profitable and sustainable, as I will tell you in due course of this seminar. Now, let us just look at this from a little different angle. I just keep these buckets aside and I look at creativity. So, there are creative careers in media. Direction is a creative career, writing is a creative career, acting is a creative career, composing music is a creative career, writing poetry, writing lyrics are creative careers. So, you have creative careers on radio, you have creative careers on television, you have creative careers in cinema, on the OTT platforms, in publication, on the internet, and so on and so forth. And then after that, we have technical careers. Cinematography is a technical career. Film editing is a technical career. Sound editing is a technical career. Sound mixing is a technical career. Animation is a technical career. Special effects and graphics are technical careers. So we have technical careers on radio, on television, in cinema, on OTT, in journalism, in publication, etc. After that, in media, we have management careers, talent management, event management, celebrity management, studio management, multiplex management, film production management, film production house management. So you have management careers on radio, on television, on internet, cinema, and finally we have entrepreneurship-based careers. When you want to set up your own company, when you want to run your own studio, when you want to build your own cinema, when you want to buy or acquire or build your own radio station, television station, TV channel. So you see now the sheer choices that you have on media. You have choices of various entrepreneurship, management, creative, technical careers on radio, on television, in film, in cinema. It's not merely about media means journalism, media means paparazzi, media means what we read in the newspaper,
Yeah.
or media means kuch entertainment, kuch press, kuch something. No. There are clear buckets which are different professions, and then you have creative careers, entrepreneurship careers, technical careers, and management careers in each one of these buckets. The word contemporary means relevant. Because I have been in industry for so many years, I know what is relevant, what is irrelevant, what can be thrown out. So I continuously change the curriculums as we go along, and I make sure that what students are studying in media is relevant to them 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 6 years from now, 8 years from now, 10 years from now. Because relevance is the most important part of education. If your education is not relevant, if it is outdated, if it is obsolete, it doesn't make any sense. And because we're talking about creative careers, and because I have explained to you, I will ask Neeraj sir now, what is the difference between a school of business, as I understand it in the world, and a Neeraj sir school of creative business? So the word creative and the word business coming together sometimes sounds like a paradox. But I'll leave it to Neeraj sir to explain to you what is the School of Creative Business at Pearl Academy and how he runs it. Neeraj sir?
Thank you, sir, and thank you so much for throwing those light on the careers, especially in School of Media, because uh, many people still think that media is just journalism, or maybe the career ends at events or something like that. But then, yes, as you explained, there are innumerable number of opportunities in various buckets, as you have very well explained. Well, sir, talking about School of Creative Business, this is definitely not a regular business school. However, there is a lot that we offer under this school under a very creative spectrum. So this is a school which caters largely to the creative industry. And when I say creative industry, it means that any industry which caters, which does business in a creative manner, that's called as creative industry. So Pearl Business School is not a general business school, as I said. However, this school is more into disruptive business, and along with this, it is futuristic. It is also creative. It is surely intellectual. It is obviously collaborative, digital, and of course, modern and innovative. This is how I would like to define this school. Well, the motto of this school is very, very simple yet very strong, which is developing leaders for the creative industry. When student comes to us, we do say that you are definitely going to get job after your undergraduation 3 year, or maybe post graduation 2 years. But then, is that what you're looking out for? That is the question I ask all my students. I tell them that you should come and ask that, sir, can you make me a leader down the line 8 years or 7 years, or can I be a CEO or president of an organization down the line in a shorter span of time? So I say that, when I talk about service industry, servicing the creative industry and new ways of doing the existing business at the interface of, we can say, economy, culture, teaching, technology, and society. So here I would like to say that there are three pillars that make School of Creative Business and that sets us apart. That is business, technology, and life skills. And these pillars further drive the pedagogy, content, industry integration, and finally the student exposure. So what you get to do in the school, sir, so we also have three different buckets in the school. Now, these buckets are under disruptive business. We have fashion and lifestyle business management, wherein a student go to become a brand manager, merchandiser, get into the fashion and lifestyle retail. And another is luxury brand management. As we know that luxury industry is growing with a rapid phase of 27% growth every year globally, and people are moving into this industry, and this industry requires a very different set of caliber in a student. So luxury brand management is another disruptive business that we look into. And apart from that, we do have digital marketing, data analytics, digital business management, so on and so forth. Our another bucket, sir, is a bucket wherein we have a regular PGDM course as well. That PGDM course is AICT approved PGDM program, where students get four beautiful electives. One is entrepreneurship and family business. Another can be digital business and e-commerce, marketing and communication, so on and so forth. So when you see this school works in a very simple phenomena, and that is having a smooth transition from classroom to a corporate. And that is what I guess we all do in our schools. I mean, you do them. You also do that kind of mentoring, as you said, and you have produced the biggies of Bollywood. So it is classroom to the industry directly, wherein they don't need any further training. They are prepared under the mentorship of people like Vivek Waswani, people like Neeraj Paul, or people like Meha, or people like Shalini. I'm just taking names of our colleagues of other schools who bring this expertise into the student, and that's what makes School of Creative Business different from other schools. Vivek sir, if I may have to answer that. So I would now like to, sir, move ahead and talk about something else, which is uh, uh, when we talk about media, especially when we talk about media, I think that a lot of students also get very attracted towards the glamour industry, and everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to come and things that I can be in front of camera, and I can be the actor or the actress, and when I feel so, Vivek sir, today, though I know I can't be a hero of a movie. I mean, they might take me for a comedian or a villain, but no. But jokes apart, I would really like to know that what are the you definitely briefly explained about some careers, but what exactly a student would do after doing courses at your School of Contemporary Media, in terms of what professions they will be getting into?
So before I start, I must tell you that I launched a man called Boman Irani, and he was older than you, and he is actually a star today. So stardom is what I teach. It's not about your age or your height or your weight or your looks. It is about your knowledge. It is about your passion. It is about your dedication. It is about your hard work. And above all, it is about your passion translating into knowledge.
Sure, sir.
Let me talk seriously about the kind of careers we have. We have fashion communication as one stream, and then we have a stream that goes media and communication, and you can branch out into media and entertainment or media and journalism. Now, in fashion communication, you're talking about two very, very big words: fashion and communication. And these two are the biggest careers today. Communication means a fashion communications learns fashion photography, learns fashion filmmaking, learns how to write blogs on fashion so they can become into fashion photographers. And let me tell you that a good fashion photographer today, Dabu Ratnani, for example, Atul Kaspekar, for example, is earning 3 lakh rupees per day doing portfolios. They can become into fashion filmmakers. Today, the top fashion films, and they could also be ad films, are making a fortune. Fashion retailing is always about communication. So communicating about fashion means you could become a journalist. You could work with magazines like Vogue. You could work with magazines like Elle. You could work with magazines like Harper's Bazaar. You could work in fashion stores and digital fashion platforms like Mintra and Nika and 100 others. So fashion communication teaches you how to communicate about fashion ads, fashion films, fashion communication, social media, blogs, and how to do that. One of our alumni, Malini Agarwal, runs a handle on Instagram called Miss Malini. That's been valued at 40 crores. So social media blogging, social media influencing have now become what we call legitimate careers. Meanwhile, of course, when we go into entertainment, you have choices of working on radio. You could become a radio jockey. You could become a radio programmer. You could become a radio entrepreneur. You could write scripts for radio because writing is a very big career. You could work on OTT platforms like Netflix. You could work at Netflix. You could become their vice president. Or you could create content which Netflix would buy and you could become a film producer, a film director, a showrunner. The career choices are very, very many in media and entertainment. And I must also tell you that each one of these careers is a very, very highly paid career. And the main thing about media is, unlike what you have been told before, or unlike what your parents may think, whether it's acting, directing, producing, writing, shooting, it is about education and qualification. It is not about luck. It is not a casino. It is not a gambling den. It is a place where you come. For example, you work with us at Pearl, we qualify you, we get you your internships. You work in the film industry, or in the photography industry, or in the advertising industry, or in the fashion industry. You see that industry from the inside and you understand what it's all about. And then you either get into a proper job, a proper career, or make your own company, or become a freelancer, or start blogging. You can do 100 things with the kind of stuff that we teach you in media. I must also add that cinema is not about Bollywood only. Today, documentary filmmakers are making a fortune. Film festival curators are making a fortune. Those who make ad films, those who make trailers, those who make music videos, those who make corporate films, industrial films, short films, public service films, message films, corporate social responsibility films are all making fortunes. And this has nothing to do with Bollywood. Today, Animal Planet and Wildlife Channel are paying a fortune for those wildlife documentaries that you see on their channels. Documentary filmmakers are being paid very, very highly. Netflix's and Amazon's and the other digital platforms are paying a lot of money for good documentary content. And of course, ad films you've been seeing on television, on the internet, in cinemas, and that has been a career that has been profitable for years and years and years. Corporate films, you all don't understand. It's about a company like Mahindra and Mahindra, or Tata Steel, or Bata, or Adidas coming and saying, don't make us an ad film for the audience, give us internal films. So if you were, let's say, employed as a filmmaker by Mahindra and Mahindra and they were launching a new tractor, they would ask you to make 4 films. One film to explain to the farmer how to use the tractor, one film for the dealer to show him how to sell the tractor, one film for the shareholders in the annual general meeting to show them how profitable that tractor would be, and one film for the board of directors so that they can critically analyze whether they should put their money into this tractor or not. It's the same tractor, it's 4 films. And you make a lot of money. I mean, let me put it to you this. These 4 films would cost any filmmaker about 40 lakhs to make, but his billing to Mahindra and Mahindra would be about 2 crores. Understand? So when we talk about films, we have a very short term or a very, very myopic view. Okay, filmmaking means Hollywood or Bollywood or something. No. Filmmaking is about documentaries, it's about social service films, it's about message films, it's about corporate films, it's about ad films, it's about promos and trailers. Ravi Padda, my friend, makes trailers for films. His contract to make a trailer for one film is for about 1 crore. He makes a 20-second promo, he makes a 30-second promo, he makes a 1-minute promo for the cinemas, he makes promos for YouTube, he makes trailers for the television channels. They give him the material, he cuts, he edits, he uses his brain and his imagination. You must understand that the future careers that we teach at Pearl, creative business, not business, contemporary media, are about using your skill, your imagination, and your talent. Anything that can be computerized, automated, or robotized is going to be computerized, automated, and robotized. You're not going to have a chance. You have a chance only when you use your brain, when you use your imagination, when you use your skill, and when you use your talent. Because those can't be automated, those can't be robotized. Today, a CEO, CA may lose his job because today I'm pressing buttons on my mobile and I'm filing my taxes. I don't need to go to his office 20 times a year the way my father used to. It's press button technology. I don't need any skill or imagination to pay my taxes. But today, a painter is getting a fortune to paint a mural in an office, to paint a painting which Nita Ambani puts up on her wall at Antilla and he charges 2 crore rupees to do that. Creative careers, be they in business, creative careers, be they in media, are going to be the big careers going forward. And that's what we do at Pearl. That's what we represent at Pearl. We are a dynamic and a very, very contemporary organization that is looking to give all of you future proof careers. And I could go on and on about future proof careers on television, on radio, on Amazon, on Netflix, in advertising, in journalism. But there's a huge bunch of stuff that we can discuss later on. Right now, I think you've got the big picture. Sir, what is your pedagogy at Creative Business, the School of Creative Business? Because you heard this word being used often. A lot of students don't understand the meaning of what pedagogy is. What is your pedagogy in the School of Creative Business? And what are the careers that are available for these students in creative business? What are the opportunities that they have?
Yes, sir. So, first of all, thank you so much for elaborating on the careers in media. Now, there are a lot of in continuation to what you were talking, sir. There are a lot of there's a lot of alignment between School of Creative Business as well as School of Contemporary Media, because business is also a very integral part of media. Because whatever content that you are creating needs to be sold out in the market. So you require sales, you require retail, you require logistics, supply chain. There are so many things which are associated: marketing, online, offline, digital marketing, all of that. And before I get into what careers and pedagogy in my school, I would also like to stress upon this point which everybody is today talking about. And you gave a lot of good examples, like it's a press button world that we are living in. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, these are an integral part of our studies in all schools, not just in business school, in all schools. We talk about design thinking, we talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about machine learning. So pedagogy in a larger format, if I have to tell you, we followed our pedagogy is very simple. We definitely not believe in the four wall of teaching methodologies. That's the first thing, and I'm sure you also do the same with your students. uh, our pedagogy at School of Business is divided in basically into three segments. Of course, 40% we keep in the pedagogy, which is more towards face to face, of course, because you need to clear the concepts to the student before you actually get them onto the working of it. Another 30% of our pedagogy completely is driven by case studies, and by role plays. So we do these kinds of role plays and case studies in the classroom, wherein we try to create these real-time scenarios. We give business problems to the students. Like, for example, I'll give you, everybody knows that Louis Vuitton, which is a luxury Indian brand, why it is shutting down in India, in spite of the fact that the company's growth has always been increasing. So if this is a scenario, go out, find out what exactly it must be happening, and try to give a possible solution using design thinking. Now, it's a business solution using design thinking. So these kinds of case studies of why Maggie was out and why Maggie is in, and still growing at a passive rate. What does Puma do to make itself the best sports shoes available, or what Nike does or what Adidas does? Do a comparative study. That's a case study. That's called as case study and role plays. And 30% surge, which is remaining, it is absolutely simulation, or I would say gamification, with which we teach students. Like, for example, entrepreneurial gamification, wherein students do for that entire module, they are part of a simulation, and at the end they get the result, which is after 16th week. They have to live this game for the 16th week. It's like Big Boss house. you have to live in that, and the results you get at the end of the fourth month. So similarly, you have to do tasks which takes you at the end of the game, and a group becomes a winner. So but in that journey you learn so much. You learn all the concepts of marketing, finance, HR, organizational behavior, understanding people, and so on and so forth. So that's about the pedagogy that we have. And the kind of career, sir, I mean, who would not like to be a part of, to be a brand manager at Puma, or possibly at Shop Stop, or maybe with Lotto, or maybe with Michael Kors, or Prada, or Gucci? These are the kind of brands that not just take our students, but they for the internship, but they also offer placements to our students, because our students are so industry ready with because of these kinds of pedagogy that we bring into the classroom. And of course, pandemic has did stopped us to a certain extent moving out face to face. But then what we did, we virtually brought these brands inside the classroom by doing a virtual study tours, either in their stores or in their warehouses or in their production units, both nationally and internationally. So that's the kind of pedagogy we have got into School of Creative Business, and that really worked for us. So specific to the careers, fashion and lifestyle business management, you can become category manager, you can become merchandiser, you can become fashion forecasters, you can become logistic manager, marketing manager, online, offline, I mean, digital marketing and normal marketing, and so on and so forth. And similar kind of opportunities also available for luxury brand management. You can be visual merchandiser, somebody who does the window displays in front of your store or makes your store look like beautiful. I mean, imagine you entering into a Shopper Stop or a West Side, how beautifully everything is kept. That's a science behind it. And that is what we teach. And that's why I call the school a very disruptive school. Sorry, I get too excited talking about
Oh,
this
you're
career.
making my mouth water talking about Louis Vuitton, and you're talking about Adidas and Nike. You're making my mouth water, sir. Really, I tell
Because that's happening, sir. Because that's what students also say, that it's a dream. So I said, yeah, and it's a dream which you have to live, and you have to actually go, and you have to actually live with it. And it will going, it's gonna be there. These are the places that where you are going to work. One of my students has recently got job in Walmart's as
you.
a merchandiser. So there are huge opportunities which a student normally get, and that is the reason behind us the pedagogy that we all bring into the classroom, which is so very well defined and focused, that we do not believe in books. Let me tell this to everyone, and Vivek sir will definitely agree on this. In Pearl Academy, though we have huge library, huge set of reference books, but we do not refer any book. Students don't have to read any books. I mean, it's a good news for all the students who are listening. There are no exams, there are no books. Whatever we teach you with the live experience of people, like, of course, we are here, and like us, there are many who come into your classroom to teach. And with those experiences, you learn, and you use the books only as a reference point. We take juries at the end of the semesters, which are face to face jury, wherein you have to either present, or you have to enact, or you have to do the deliverables can be different types of deliverables. We do follow a certain rubrics of grading system and assessment, but then everything is very real time. Well, I will put down my excitement little down, and I will come to Vivek sir, because when it comes to pedagogy, I really get very, very excited.
I get fascinated when I listen to you, sir. I mean, really, this is so
That's
fascinating.
so humble of you, sir. I was talking about industry integration in just now, sir. So, you being an industry person as it is, and sir, we have 10 minutes more for our talk, and then we'll take the questions. So, one thing I would like to know, that what kind of industry you get inside School of I know what kind of industry you have got, but if you can just throw some light of kind of people you have got inside the classroom, face to face, real time, physically.
Actually, sir, I'll be very, very honest with you. I have been lucky in that sense, and so have my students, because I come from industry. I don't only come from industry, but I've made 40 films where I've launched the directors and the actors. So when I made Patthar Ke Phool, I launched Ravina Tandon. And Ravina Tandon came to school and she did a whole session with our students. I launched Ashutosh Gavarikar, who directed Lagan in Gavahi. Ashutosh has come and talked to our students. I've had Javed Jafri, I've had Preet Kamani, I've had Anant Mahadevan, I've had Dolly Thakur, I've had Mahabanu Kotwal, I've had Vikram Baba, the photographer, I've had Suraj Joshi, Ishita Chadda, Mohit Chadda. I've had a whole bunch of people. I've had people from OTT like Vikramaditya Motwani. I've had Anurag Kashyap. I've had celebrity managers, Manvi Sharma, who's Shah Rukh Khan's PR person, Meeta Pandit, who is Ravina Tandon's PR person. I've had Meera Nair all the way from New York talking on Zoom to my students. I've had 9 bestsellers on the New York bestseller list author Ashwin Sanghi talking to my students. I have tried my best to make sure that every student at Pearl is connected to industry and learns how to deal with celebrities, because not only do they have to do that for the rest of their lives if they choose to, but they must get the best industry knowledge. And that, as Neeraj sir said, doesn't come from textbooks. When you hear a Ravina Tandon speak, or when you hear a Javed Jafri speak, or when you hear a Jayati Bhatia speak, or when you hear a Vikram Baba speak, you're getting a glimpse into their life. You're getting a glimpse into the kind of work they have to do. You're getting a glimpse into the kind of hard work or discipline or perseverance you need to succeed in that profession. And you're getting a 360-degree spectrum about everything, whether it's cinema, whether it's photography, whether it's advertising, whether it's journalism. We've had Bharat Dabolkar, who, as the man who created the Amul campaign, utterly butterly delicious. We've had Mayank Shekhar, who's the deputy editor of who's the entertainment editor of the Midday. We've had Jamal Sheikh, who's the national editor of the Hindustan Times Brunch. We've had Rajiv Masand. You've seen him week on television on CNN, IBN, talking and reviewing films. And we have them talking to the people, to the students, to the faculty. And as time goes by and we stop doing things online, they will be coming once again to campus, sitting with the students, having a cup of coffee with the students. And the students will not just get an insight, but start building their professional relationships,
Network.
their network, and their contacts with these VIPs right from day one. It will help them to groom their personalities. It will help their confidence levels. It will help them to speak in public. And a lot of you, you're like Google kids. You were born with Google in your head and smartphones in your hand. You're like experts at WhatsApping. You're like experts at pressing buttons. But if I take your laptop away and if I take your phone away and I say, sit with me and let's talk for 1 hour, you may not be able to do it because you need to be pressing buttons all the time. And I do not encourage that. I encourage that we talk, we discuss, be shy, be diffident, struggle with your words because maybe you don't read books and you don't have the vocabulary, or be fluent because you're a bookish person and you've read a lot of books. It doesn't matter. Once you start taking that first step towards building your personality, the second step is easier, the third step is even easier, and then you start running. My students have all been success. Ashutosh Gavarikar, when I met him, big strapping boy, a Maharashtrian, did not know Hindi too well. He spoke with a Marathi accent. Did not know English too well. His Lagan has been nominated at the Oscar level. Growth is an integral part of everything that we do at Pearl, and we make sure that we keep on allowing our children, our students, our wards to grow all the time. And I think that is very, very important. And I speak for Neeraj sir when I talk. Even he has been able to get great people to come and talk to his students, whether they are managing directors of companies, whether they are corporate heads or marketing heads of companies, whether those are malls. He's been able to talk to a huge bunch of people who run luxury brands. And I think that is a very important part of the overall Pearl education system, where we make sure that there is a very strong industry connect. Sir, tell me, now that I've talked about Industry Connect, the other half of Industry Connect is internships. So, how do you manage to get your students internship? Because I know at Pearl we have a 99 or 98% rate of getting them internships.
Yes.
Maybe last year it was even 100% before COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do we get them into industry? How do we build their confidence?
Yeah. How we do that, and this is common and generic to all the schools. Uh, Trust me, we don't have to do much now because the legacy really help us because the brands they normally come and they normally come by themselves to give internships. But then we have a very strong career services department which is sitting in every campus. Just to tell you that we have campuses across India. We have two in Delhi, Delhi West and Delhi South. One is at Rajouri, another is in New Friends Colony. We have it in Mumbai, which is in Marol, Andheri East, which is very centrally located. We have it in Bangalore, and we also have it in Jaipur. So every campus we have a career services, and they work round the clock to find the new startups, the brands, and that's how they have a portal where they keep putting all these internship opportunities or placement opportunities. Students apply and they get. But as I said, and as Vivek sir said, that we do get industry in the classroom, and while the industry in the classroom, they can spot kids over there. We have got requests from the industry that can we have these three set of students, because I really found them very nice and they are very promising, and I think they can be brilliant for my organization. Can we take them, or can I give them a project to do? So this is how the internships really help, and we have stitched internship in our curriculum in such a way that students get to do a lot of industry interactions and internships, which actually help them in the final placements because their resumes become very heavy with the industry internships. So that's how we do. So considering the time, sir, I would like to ask you the last question, and I will also answer the same later on once you finish. What is one thing that you would like to tell to all the brilliant students sitting here from Sunbeam, that if they are aspiring to come into media profession, what is one thing that you would like to uh, tell them or guide them through?
I would like to tell all the students to take a deep dive. You're old enough now to understand what you want to do for the next 50 years or 60 years of your life. If you haven't thought about it yet, start thinking about it now. Start figuring out what you want to do. You don't have to figure out your career, but you have to figure out that this is me. I'm so and so. I like doing these things. I dislike doing these things. This is my capacity to work. I don't have the capacity to do this. I had to do that when I was very young. I hated mathematics. Anything to do with mathematics, I could not do. I hated sports. So anything to do with cricket and football, no way. I was bored. It's very bad to drive cars in Bombay. So I said, I'm not going to drive cars. I had no passion. So I joined films. But once you do your deep dive and you understand yourself, and if your choice is to get into an unusual career, different career, a career that maybe may not work very well, maybe with your parents or your grandparents, then first do your own deep dive. Make sure that it is your passion translating into knowledge. Make sure that you're not just merely glamour struck, and then take the help of your teachers. I promise you, I'm sitting here, your teachers are going to be the ones who will help you, guide you, counsel you, mentor you. Teachers are always available day and night. They have chosen to be your gateway to the success of your lives, and they are in the kind of profession which I salute. I've chosen to be one myself. I could have been sitting somewhere making my next big Bollywood film. I've chosen to give back, and every one of your teachers is available to you. You don't use them, that is your problem. Start using them, talking to them, understanding from them. Reach out to people like Neeraj sir and me at Pearl Academy. Get your guidance so that you do not make the mistake of being in the wrong career. That is torture. That leads to failure. You must be completely clear, and that clarity comes when you do a deep dive inside yourself. And supposing, for example, the answer is film, then start doing your research. How many films are made in the country? How many cinemas are there in the country? What kind of jobs are available? How much do people in cinema get paid? And then your parents will know the difference between your being glamour struck and your being goal or career oriented. There's a big difference. And I would say start looking inside yourself and doing your deep dive into yourself now. So that's the one big thing I want to tell you. That will be your starting point, right? And yes, Neeraj sir has put, and I'm going to put my Insta handle. You guys want to talk to me?
I have put for both of us. You can guys follow us over there, and if any kind of mentoring, if you want, please feel free. As a last word before we take questions, in continuation to what Vivek sir was saying, that one request that I would like to make everyone is that do not follow the bandwagon. I'm not saying that other careers are not good and creative careers is the best, but do not follow the bandwagon because your friends, good friends, are going in a particular field. You are also going in that field because you that's your comfort zone. Please don't do that. I mean, you will be a big failure. For do your research, understand and explore what exactly that you want to do. Why I came into creative industry, even I was not good at math, even I was not good at sport, but what I was good was in debate and recitation. I always used to win, even won the CBSE inter-school all India competition also. That gave me a chance to get into a profession which is marketing and retailing, wherein you don't have to do anything else but to talk and to woo everyone by that and sell the product. So, and that brought me to education, and that brought me to become the dean for a school of such big school. And I'm really happy that I've chosen this profession. I have immense respect for all the teachers whom I can see in front of me in the screen. And as Vivek sir rightly said, teaching is one of the biggest and the most humblest profession. But unfortunately, we don't use our teachers in the right perspective. They are not only there to teach you history, physics, geography, math, science, English, Hindi, Sanskrit. They are there to guide you for the life and give you the right kind of perspective towards you, because more than your parents, they know that what you are made for and what you can do for in life as a professional. So I would say one thing which Marilyn Monroe has said in her autobiography, that go where you are celebrated and you are not tolerated. Now you decide whether you want to go to a place where you want to be celebrated as an individual for what you are, or you want to be tolerated. So choice is yours. And with this, I and Vivek sir would like to thank you all. But we are here. Please raise your questions and we'll be more than happy to answer them all. Thank you so much.
And don't feel
Thanks a lot.
to ask difficult questions. Don't think कि मैं ये कैसे, because you know what I do when Neeraj sir and me go and do them live? Nobody has questions until we leave. Then they're all standing near the gate, near the lift, saying, Sir, can we just speak alone? Don't be shy. Ask your questions. We're here to handle them. Sir, Shaurya Shantanu has asked you, how do you join marketing business?
See, there are two questions you're asking here, Shantanu, which is business and which is marketing. So I really want to understand, or if I have to, what I understood that you want to, what is marketing? Now, marketing is something wherein basically how you put yourself into the market, how your products are being looked upon, how your products are being placed or positioned in the market. So how to get into marketing is basically you have to do a business course, and in your specialism you have to take marketing as your specialism. And once you take marketing, then you learn everything in that. You learn how to do online marketing, you learn how to do digital marketing, you learn international marketing, you learn integrated marketing services, which is IMC and all. So all of it is there, but it's just that you need to find the right path in your management course and take a specialism as marketing, and that will make you a marketing professional. Fine.
Thank
Anything?
you.
Any other thing? Yeah. Sorry. Divya ma'am was saying something.
No, sir, I was just going through the things that you have gone through a very great line over there, that we should go to the profession where we are celebrated ourselves, not be a burden. So that's a very good line over here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Students, those who want to ask the questions, may raise your hands if anybody has any questions.
Yes, I would like to interrupt for 1 minute. Vivek ji, it was really very, very good to listen to you, and it's such an enriching experience to listen to people like you and to Neeraj sir because it opens our windows of the minds. Vivek sir, I would like you to elaborate on the importance of reading. This is very a genuine point that we have raised. How does reading help in building your career? This is one question that I would like to ask. I also welcome my director, Ms. Shweta Kanodia, and principal, Mr. C.K. Palit over here. It's such an interesting discussion. And please elaborate on how reading helps to build you as a person and also your career.
Ma'am, it's very, very simple actually. If you do not read, you cannot talk. Unfortunately, a lot of people think they can talk, for example, the way I do or the way Neeraj sir does, with fluency and with clarity by watching TV and by watching videos and by being stuck on their screens. No. The difference between you guys and me is that I have 50,000 words in my head and you have only 5,000 words in your head. I can, for example, say, what do? I decode careers. I demystify careers. I dissect careers. I deconstruct careers. In 30 seconds, I can take out four separate words which mean the same. I am fluent, I can talk. When I talk, I build my personality. The other person listens to me because I'm being valid, I'm being relevant. And when two people, and this is a very big golden rule, when two people can talk to one another, they can work with one another. When we go in the film industry, we find a lot of people coming who do not know how to talk. All of them want to act, but they can't talk. When they meet a producer, they do not know how to talk, how to converse. They haven't seen those movies, they haven't done their research, they haven't read the books on which those movies have been based, and they have no conversation. Understand the starting point, the building block, the very foundation of your confidence level, your personality has to be the way you talk and how you present yourself. And you cannot do that if you do not read. You have to read, you have to assimilate knowledge. Understand one thing: Google is not knowledge, Google is information. Translating that information into knowledge and then translating that knowledge into wisdom is what your teachers do for you. Google will never, never be a substitute for your teachers. It's going to be them. And when they tell you read, write, don't just press buttons. They're building your muscle memory. Every time you pick up a paper and a pencil and you write instead of pressing buttons on your phone, you will remember that all your life. Every time you read from a book and turn a page, as opposed to pressing buttons on your laptop or your smartphone, it's making a big difference to your life. Major issue is that you will enjoy it once you get addicted to it. Even now, every Saturday morning, I go to my library and I pick out 3 books and I read them every week. That's 150 books a year. Now, I must be honest, I've started rereading some of the books that I read 10 years ago, 15 years ago, my favorite authors. I've also started now reading books which have been made into films or into web series or into TV series. It's great fun to read A Suitable Boy, imagine the characters, and then watch Meera Nair's version on Netflix with Ishant Khattar and Ram Kapoor and Tabu. It just brings them to life. So, reading and talking are two sides of the same coin. Yeah. Aman Kumar Singh has raised his hand. Would you like to ask a question, Aman?
Yes, Aman, go for it.
It will be nice if we can see you also, Aman.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could see you guys. Yeah.
Jan and very good evening to everyone. Myself, Aman Kumar Singh from class 12 Commerce. Sir, my question is to Vivek sir. Sir, me 17-year-old boy now want to be an actor in Bollywood. So what are the things I need to build inside me from now so that could help me in future as I enter in the Bollywood to face that world? you see the world we live in, the world Bollywood is very different. So what
No.
are the things we need to build from now?
So the first thing we do is we stop getting into these misconceptions. I've been in Bollywood for 42 years. I leave my house in the morning, I go to the set, I learn my lines, I put on makeup, I act. 6 o'clock they finish, 7 o'clock I come home, sit with my parents, have dinner, go for a walk, go meet my friends, see a film. It's the same life that you lead, and I've been doing it for 42 years. I am disciplined enough to not smoke and to not drink. I still prefer to use public transport, trains, and buses because in Bombay it's impossible to use the car to reach anywhere to go on time. So you must first get rid of this misconception that there is something different or unique about Bollywood. Careers in Bollywood as an actor, as a writer, as a director, as a cinematographer, maybe it's harder work. Maybe we shoot sometimes from 6 in the morning to midnight. But I know a lot of people in business who have to work 18 hours a day as well. Second, please understand that to clear misconceptions, you have to have knowledge. And there are three golden rules to coming in there. One is if you want to be an actor, that means you have a passion for being on the screen, you have a passion for becoming a celebrity, you have a passion for being well known, you have a passion to become popular. That's all very well. But has that passion translated into knowledge, Aman? So if you say you have passion and you're 17 and you're looking for a career in films, the first thing I will ask you is, do you have passion? And you will say yes. And then I will say, has your passion translated into knowledge? Would you like to work with Ranbir Kapoor and play his younger brother in a film? And you will say yes. But if you sit with Ranbir Kapoor and Ranbir Kapoor asks you to name the 10 films that his grandfather Raj Kapoor has directed, you don't have the answer. How many films has Ranbir Kapoor acted in? You don't have the answer. Who was the cameraman of his first film, Savaria? You don't have the answer. Your knowledge level is not been there. You haven't translated your passion into knowledge. If I take you to Aditya Chopra at Yashraj Films, you don't know how many films Aditya's father has directed. You don't know which was Yash Chopra's first film, which was his last film. You have no knowledge. So if I am not convinced, and how do you expect to convince your parents that you have passion? Only when your passion translates into knowledge. When you talk to your parents in a knowledgeable way, when you do your research, when you watch the right movies, when you talk to the right people on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, when you sit down and do a deep dive into research, who was Raj Kapoor? How many films did he direct? Who were his three children, male children? Ranbir Kapoor, Rishi Kapoor, Rajiv Kapoor. Who is Rajiv Kapoor's son? Ranbir Kapoor. Who is Ranbir's sister? Ridhima. Until you don't know, you cannot talk with them, you cannot work with them. So understand rule number one, passion has to translate into knowledge. Rule number two, whatever it is that got you wherever you are is not good enough to keep you there. It's just not good. So I watch movies and I read books even now. If I'm working till midnight, I will watch a movie and then I will sleep. I have to keep up. I have to understand that Bell Bottom released 2 weeks ago in the cinemas everywhere except Maharashtra. I have to know what were the box office collections. They're available on Google if you research. And the third thing, anything that involves the spending of money is a hobby. Anything that involves the earning of money is a profession. So acting is not the job. In cinema, selling tickets is the job. The moment you understand the business of cinema and you become profitable, and sir, I'm taking a leaf out of your book, Creative Business is What Acting is All About. For example, I don't know whether Shah Rukh gave a good performance in Devdas or a bad performance. I know that the film did 75 crores business. So I know then how to move ahead and understand how to launch other people because I teach them the business that they should be. Your acting is your craft. Your business is what gets you money every month to put food on the table, to pay
Absolutely.
rent, telephone, and electricity. Once you understand these things, you will understand that there is no glamour. It's a regular, hard-working profession.
Absolutely, sir. And that's what I have written in the chat box while I was listening to you, that passion can only make your dreams come true if it is it has to work, but then it has to work parallel to the knowledge about the industry that you want to get in. So Arman, if you want to be an actor, you know what you have to do now. How many more questions, Smriti ma'am, you would like us to take? So there are a couple of students
You
who have
can
raised.
have any number of questions till you are comfortable. Let's give a chance
I
to
guess we
the
will be comfortable for
three.
another 10 minutes, Vivek
Ah,
sir. Is that fine?
So yes,
So, let's
Shaurya,
take,
Shantanu, then
Shaurya
Ritika,
and then
then
Ritika
Kritika.
and then Kritika. So these
Kritika.
three students have raised hands. So let's go with Shaurya. No, but we will take questions only if they switch
from
on
class
their
9.
Yeah, you have
take
to switch
question
on
if,
your
if
camera.
they switch on their
I
video.
don't know what you look like, so how do I know what advice to give you as an actor, yaar?
Right. So Shaurya, Ritika, and Kritika, please switch on your videos.
Okay, so Sambhavi has switched on her video.
Sambhavi, please go on.
Ritika has also done that. So we'll go with Sambhavi and then Ritika. Yes, quickly. Shauri also did it. Yeah, great. Yeah, quickly.
So Shaurya, please ask.
Shaurya,
Sanjay
come
sir,
on. Shaurya,
Sanjay
you
sir, are
can
you
just
unmuting the children? Shambhavi,
Yes, ma'am.
Kritika, and Ritika, and
yeah,
Jain,
Sambhavi is there. Yes, come on, quickly.
Jain sir, I am Sambhavi of class 9. Sir, I would like I would like to ask you the question that being in a creative career, should we be more creative or we should be strategic at the same time?
See, it's a very nice question that you have asked. You know, it is always I would personally feel that it has to be a blend of both, because you can't be creative without a proper strategy. It's as simple as that. So, I'll give you a very simple example over here, Sambhavi, considering business. For example, if you are a business manager of an organization, if you have to, forecast the sales for the next year. So what is the two things that you will bring in? One is the facts and figures, which is that past years, couple of years, you will see what sales the organization has done. That you take 50% as consideration. Another 50% is the trends and your intuitive thinking, which is like your intentions. So that's strategy. So you have to put in your strategy at both the places. So you just can't be thinking that, okay, if I'm good at drawing, I'll keep drawing in the classroom at the last page of my book. That is not going to help. You have to strategize to convert that passion into your profession. So it has to be 50-50% of both. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sambhavi. Can we have Shaurya now?
Yes, Jain sir, Shaurya of 9A. So I want to ask a question that how we can make sure that the customer has trust on our products and services that we make.
Okay, now I can give you answer in two ways, as a hardcore businessman and also as a teacher. So how you want me to answer?
Both.
Okay, I'll answer you as in between. So it is very easy to make customers trust your product. Okay, gone are the days we never. I mean, if you seek our country, couple of decades back, we never wanted to go online shopping because we never trusted these products. Today, without even touching and feeling, you go and trust the products on Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, everywhere. Not just the product, we also go and believe on Swiggy, Zomato, and we buy products which can be poisoned and can be sent to us and we can eat and we can die. But then we trust. So business is entirely based on trust. So product can be, a customer can only trust your product if you can give them have a proper balance between your price points and the quality that you are going to offer. And of course, both of this alone cannot work. You need to have a very strong marketing strategy to position your product into the minds of the customers. So you have to keep hitting it. So why Coca-Cola today is in have profits in billions, but then you will see Coca-Cola ads everywhere. Every other events they are sponsoring. Why? And these are all their marketing budgets, because survival of the fittest is the Darwin's theory. I'm sure you must have learned. It is all about survival of the fittest. You have to keep telling people that I am there, I am available. So once that is done, people develop that kind of trust to you, and that's how they come to you. So that is what you have to do. Marketing is the tool for you to run the product and earn customers' loyalty.
Thank you, sir.
We'll quickly take Ritika.
Jain and good evening, sir.
Jai Hind, Ritika.
Sir, I am Ritika of class 11A PCM batch, and here I want to do acting, but the thing is that parents don't allow, and parents don't allow, and the thing is they say that acting is nothing, you just focus on your career and how we should convey our parents. Because since I was a child, I used to do acting, and I want to go in
So I
that line only.
what I just said. First and foremost, if you want to be an actor, you have to convert your passion into knowledge. Who is your favorite actor, Ritika?
Akshay Kumar, because he does each and every
How
very
does he act? How many
Excuse me, I can't hear.
how many films has Akshay Kumar acted in, Ritika?
So I just have
No, either you know or you don't know.
Ritika's
around
network is low, I guess.
15.
Huh?
That
She
I don't
said
know the
15.
exact number
Vivek,
of
she
films he
said
has
around
done.
15 or 50. But I guess both the
I
answers
don't
are
know
wrong.
exact number.
325 films. Can you name his first film?
Don't know.
Can you name his last film?
Last film, belly bottom.
Who is the cameraman?
Bell bottom
Who
was
is the
last
cameraman of Bell Bottom?
cameraman.
You see, when your
Don't know.
answers at every stage are, I don't know, how will your parents be convinced? I'm not convinced. And let me tell you this, when my father asked me, I said, you ask me any question. Any question. And I must tell you, I was 10 or 11 years old. I said, I want to be an actor. I can't do anything. He said, okay, okay. How many films has Yash Chopra made? In those days, Aditya Chopra's father, Yash Chopra, was very popular. And I told my father his first film was Bhoot Ka Puri, his second film was Dharamputra, the third film was in color, it was called Admi Aur Insan, the fourth film was Vaqt, the fifth film was Ittifaq. After that, his sixth film was Daan. It was also the first film he produced at Yash Raj Films. His seventh film was Joshila, his eighth film was Kabhi Kabhi, his ninth film was Trishul, his 10th film was Diva. Can I go on? Are you understanding the meaning of careers only come from knowledge? And if you ask
Yes, I'm
the
understanding.
cameraman, sound recordist, the editor, the music director, which theaters these films came in, I can tell you. And I must tell you, in my days, there was no internet, there were no smartphones, we didn't even have phones. Smriti ma'am will know only the neighbors had phones in those days. हम लोग नेबर के घर में जाके 50 पैसे देके फिर इस्तेमाल करते थे. I had to go to newspaper offices and buy old newspapers and learn the posters and the ads by heart. How could my father say no when he saw that passion, that dedication? When he saw me reading 10 books on cinema every week? How many books on cinema do you read, Ritika?
Sir, I just watch. I don't read anything because I am a PCM batch student, so no
Correct.
one allows me.
Correct, my darling. How many films have you watched? Which was the last film you saw?
So last film I have seen that Shershah.
Which?
Shershah
Sher Shah.
of Siddharth
Fantastic.
Malhotra and
Right.
Kiara Advani.
And who directed that film?
Directed that was a a female director.
What was the female director's name?
Name I don't remember.
Again, I can tell you, you don't watch them. You just time passed. You didn't watch. You didn't make notes. I noticed it. Your parents will also notice it. If you are passionate about films, Prove it to yourself first before you go to your parents. Why should your parents allow you with such a lack of knowledge to come to Bombay and struggle and fail until they do not see your passion translating into knowledge, and that knowledge translating into research, and that research translating into strategy, and that strategy plan? They shouldn't allow you, Ritika. So you must.
Yes, I'm understanding.
So if you seriously want to become an actor in films, it's not true. You don't want to be an actor, Ritika. You want to be a successful actor. You don't want to enter Bollywood. You want to enter Bollywood successfully. The key is not in wanting to be an actor or being a director or a producer or in business. The key is to be successful. And success comes from
Successful.
mehnat, it comes from knowledge, it comes from passion, it comes from research. It doesn't come out of the hat. So all of you, I think,
Yes, I'm understanding. From
Ritika,
today only I will start.
question.
Great.
I'm telling
Fabulous.
all you people that you have to understand that whichever career you want, it's not true. You don't want to be an actor, director, producer, writer, advertising journalist. You want to be successful at that. And that is a completely new way of thinking. You said
Great.
you want to be an actor. No, you want to be a successful star.
Yes, sir.
Start being successful. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we'll quickly take one more question, sir. Devangi.
Devangi Dubey. Devangi.
Yeah.
Jain sir, this side Devangi from class 9. So my question is that it is usually said that it's really hard to coincide what we want and what we have achieved. Like while shooting a movie, we were recently shooting a movie in school. So what we desired didn't came out, but something like that came. So according to you, how can we overcome that thing?
I make a film with pre-production. 6 months of planning on the script, on how many days of shooting, the location, the costumes, the vendors, the air conditioned vans. I even plan what everyone is going to eat on the shoot. I have menus. And the day we start shooting the film, I give it over to the director and I'm on holiday as a producer. He is the one who says action cut. But his clothes are ready, his costume is ready, his location is ready, the permissions are in place, the actors' dates are in place, they're sitting down, and it's fun. So you must remember that it will only translate into what you want when you do your homework. And homework and preparation, whether it's making a film or whether it's an examination, is all the difference again between success and failure. So there are some people who pass exams, there are some people who do them brilliantly, and there are some people who don't do it well. The difference is the prep, the preparation, the homework, the research, the knowledge. And finally, you will notice that all the answers that I'm giving you end up with the same thing. Mehnat, discipline, determination, hard work, knowledge, 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 knowledge. Don't ask for luck and destiny and all this. Because let me tell you one thing, all of you in this webinar are in the top 0.1% of the luckiest people in the universe. You're not deaf, you're not dumb, you're not spastic, you haven't lost things, you're not on the road, you get 2 square meals, you have a roof. Now if you ask for more luck, God will say, यार कमाल है और क्या चाहिए यार, ये तो greed हो गया. You people are so lucky. You have school, you have education, you have teachers, you have 3 meals a day, 4 if you want. You all have smartphones, you have laptops, you can see, you can hear. I work with children who don't have feet and they're dancers. My Shanavaz at Shamak Davas, up to his waist, he's like Salman Khan, but he has no feet. But when he gets onto those ropes and he dances, Ritik Roshan told me, sir, I can't dance like Shanavaz does. It is not about your luck. You guys are already in the top 1% of the luckiest people in the whole universe. It's about your mehnat, your discipline, your research, your hard work. Yes? Neeraj sir, on that note, I think a very splendid, inspirational note.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We should say thank you to Smriti ma'am and everyone who's.
Over to Divya ma'am. Quickly, Divya. Divya, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Uh, so now, thank you, sir. I would like to call upon my director over here to address Shweta, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vivek sir and Neeraj sir. It has been a real pleasure attending this session. It has been very, very enriching. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Vivek sir and Neeraj sir. Also, I would like to thank our entire team, who's and my principal, Palit sir, Smriti ma'am, Divya, and there are a lot of teachers also. Vivek sir, Neeraj sir, I would really like to just let you know that filmmaking is an integral part of our curriculum. We have Mr. Amitabh Singh, the cinematographer of the very well-known cinematographer.
Yes, of course.
Yes, and we've got a media lab in school made 4 years back under his guidance. And what Devangi was talking about, for 15th August, they have been mentored for a month by Amitabh sir, and they made a film on Azadi Ke Rang. And they went out to shoot, they made the script, and it was their first film, I mean, which the kids scripted and edited and shot. You know, even interacting with people outside the boundaries of the school on the ghats of Varanasi was a different experience for them. There were a lot of times when they had to problem solve because they are used to school books, copies, but filmmaking is an entirely different process. So, and today's webinar of yours has actually, I mean, the way, sir, you spoke that it's not a 1 month job, it's a 6 month of planning, which, and the effort, the dedication, the passion, which translates into knowledge, the knowledge translating into research. Just as Confucius said, choose a job you love and you don't have to work a single day. And we're really trying to bring in creativity right from the beginning of school life. I mean, it cannot be something which does not exist anymore in the curriculum. And that's why Amitabh sir has been with our kids. And I actually, today when I saw the numbers 112, I thought to myself that this is working somewhere. Otherwise, maybe, the PCM batch, the class 9th batch wouldn't have come. But they are there till the end. And the kids, sir, I would also request if we can have, I know that, sir, you're very hard pressed for time. Neeraj sir and Vivek sir, I really request that maybe sometime later, maybe in another couple of months or maybe 2-3 months later, if we could have another similar talk with a group of dedicated kids who really want to pursue creative careers, and we can take it forward.
Ma'am,
A real benefit to the thought process of our kids.
Shweta, ma'am, may I say something?
Yes, sir.
I have done 3 or 4 or 5 webinars with various Sunbeam schools in Varanasi. And the request has been to actually sit with the children and also simultaneously do some sort of a guidance webinar with their parents so that parents get geared to understand that they are there. So I will request good old I forgot his name.
So,
To coordinate with you and with all the Sunbeam schools. So maybe Neeraj sir and me can come for 2 days to Varanasi and we can do different webinars with different, we could do 11th standard and 12th standard. We could do one webinar with your faculty. We could do one evening with the parents sitting around the table so that the parents can be guided through how to handle their children. I think it's very beneficial. The second thing I want
to say, fantastic point. The parents and the teachers.
We must do it with the parents.
Because this is what we've also been trying to do.
And I guess more than students, it's the parents whom we really need to crack for them to get into more unconventional careers, is what I feel. So,
I have noticed that when I talk to the parents and I give them the guidelines, so Ritika, you must not be disheartened. If I showed you the first film I made, I would want to burn it and never show it to anyone. It was so bad. It was really terrible. But it's easy for me to talk now after making 42 movies, but I'm giving you all the wisdom that I learned. It was the homework that made Raju Ban Gaya Gentleman successful or Patthar Ke Phool successful. It is the planning and the dedication and the minute details that make a difference, and that is a lesson in life that goes for your examinations when you sit on the table to give them. And the third thing I must tell all you people is that my Bua studied in Varanasi at Banaras Hindu University. She fell in love with her professor, got married, and stayed put. And I was sent by my father to Varanasi every winter holidays to stay with my Bua and my Fufa and to learn Hindi. So I used to stay in BHU. I used to pluck fruits and vegetables from the kitchen garden. And my Bua used to cook for me. But for that 1 month while I was in Varanasi, I was not allowed to talk in English. I used to go to a place called Lanka, sit in an auto rickshaw, go to Taksal cinema, watch movies and other cinemas, come back home, eat hot samosas and boiled eggs outside. It was winter, it used to be freezing cold. And Varanasi has very, very good memories for me. So I would be delighted, and I'm sure Neeraj sir would be delighted.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We will
Anytime.
Varanasi, sit with you all. But we'll plan it in such a way that we can coordinate between all the schools and do, let's say, one parent day, morning, afternoon, evening, one children's day, one faculty day, something like that, so that the maximum benefit goes to them, so that when they get into the 11th and the 12th and we reach out to them to come to creative institutes like Pearl, they are prepared, and so are you, and so are we. I think this is something that we should start doing from the 11th standard onwards. And of course, with the 9th and the 10th standard kids, let them be aware that the future careers have changed, that they cannot sit on things that are not going to be valid anymore. We don't want children to study things and get into professions which are going to be obsolete in the next 5 years or 10 years. So that is something that I would like Sarvesh to coordinate with you all. We would be delighted, Neeraj sir and me, to use some of our time. We'll plan it in advance and do this for your children. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure, sure. We'll do that.
So much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vivek sir, for offering to come to Varanasi, Neeraj sir, for sparing your valuable time, sitting with our parents, teachers, as well as children, and making this creativity possible for our kids.
It was our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon Palit sir, the principal of the school, CK Palit.
Jai Hind and good evening. First of all, I must say that Vivek sir, I am very fortunate that I have watched your serial Khandan, and I remember the episode very nicely. Till today, I remember. Now, our director ma'am, Shweta ma'am, have very nicely summarized the entire thing about today's webinar. We are really, really thankful to two genius, Vivek Vaswani ji and Neeraj Paul sir, to guide our students. One thing I must mention over here, when we are looking into this one, the designing of the today's session is something different from the other sessions which we have attended. So it was very much evident that how Neeraj sir and Vivek sir, you curated the entire session. And I, as a person, and I am sure that all the participants, we are very much hooked to the entire session. And every single word we were listening to it. And I am sure that all the students, they have understood each and everything which you have shared, the questions which you have mentioned. Vivek sir, you mentioned about that the reading, that is definitely very, very important. I must add to this one, listening to people like you is also equally important. Whenever we get this opportunity to listen to you or Neeraj sir, I think our horizon of thinking goes to a next level. The critical creativity which you have mentioned in the entire the presentation is, I think, is going to happen as Madam shared with you that we have a media lab. So we have started developing in that way, and we are eagerly looking forward to your visit to Varanasi, and that will be a wonderful thing for all our students. I must share our sincere thanks to Neeraj sir, Vivek sir once again, and to the entire management of the Pearl Academy for giving us this opportunity to listen to both of you. And we definitely look forward for more such sessions from you all, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Dibya ma'am. And thank you, Smriti ma'am, for arranging the session also. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
just thank you, sir. Just one last call to everyone to come in the video or more so that we can click some lovely memories.
Yeah.
All the children, quick, quick, very quick. Yes, that's like my children. Please come on the video mode.
And students, you can go to YouTube. Probably Khandan is also there. So you can ask your parents also, and even the grandparents also. They must have watched the Khandan. What a popular serial. What a popular serial, sir.
Thank you.
So sharing with my children, my son and daughter also, about the Khandan serial. And I will see to that they also watch the Khandan once again. Yes, sir.
I still remember the confused, cute look Vivek sir had in Khandan.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Ritika, please come on video mode. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks to all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining for today's webinar. Now I request Sanjay sir to end up the meeting.